From the Lone Star States and the Bluegrass State, this is your two dads. Two real dads giving you the real news. The real news.
Like 70% of Nikki Haley's voters in New Hampshire are Democrats. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I am JJ. That is Deacon. We don't have any clever names yet. Oh, Dinkbug. Yeah, Deacon and Dinkbug. Oh. And we meet we meet here on rumble.com/JJW or youtube.com/JJW8071 to drink coffee and read the news and laugh as the world burns. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. That's all right. You keep that. You know what? If you just smash that thing, it won't be pestering you anymore.
Okay, so I've got a story for you. Let me take him out here real quick. I got a story on
that. For those of you that are watching, it's called a stink bug.
If y'all don't know what that is, you're in another country. Like, what is that? In America, we call those stink bugs because they stink. So if you've never squished one, let me tell you a little. Let's have story time with Uncle Dick here. Okay, so as you can see, my desk here is a U, right?
Yeah. Beep bop boop. Beep bop.
Here it's a U. So I've got all sides of the desk is a U here. So my right elbow lays over here on the desk, and it's a little chilly outside. So I had my hoodie on this morning. You know, I've always got my hoodie on, and one of the three that I own. And I had my hoodie on this morning, and it's just got it out of the dryer this morning. And I'm sitting here and I'm doing my stuff, and I'm going, what is that smell? I was like, I know that smell, but I could not pinpoint that smell. It was a god awful smell, and it not only penetrates your olfactory, but it gets into your taste buds, like in the back roof of your mouth. You know, it goes down your nostrils into the back roof of your mouth. So you're kind of like, what is this smell? You know? And I leaned over, and right where I put my elbow was a dead stink pug. Dude, I have washed my hand, and I flicked it off. I've washed my hands. I've washed my arm like 3 times this morning. I put cologne on. Look, I had to go get the freaking Clorox bathroom spray with bleach to get this smell off the table. I could not get the smell off the table this morning. I was like, God.
I'm going to need to get the crime scene cleanup crew here. This shit is not coming out. You have to cut the boards out of the floor.
Oh, man, it was nasty. So that's how my day started. It's funny. I was like, JJ will get a kick out of me squishing a stink bug.
Hey, before we go too far, yesterday's show, I guess people leave comments after the show ends. So I just want to shout out. We had a Joey77 and who said, Joey. He said, believe nothing, question everything. And I think, hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then
Timothy, probably a genius.
Yeah. It's probably one of our top 10 fans for sure. Top 10.
That's one of my buddies.
And we also had Timothy Don say, love our content. It is amazing and very interesting. And then I think Timothy was going to suggest that some great ways that we could improve if we just sign up with the service.
We'll take suggestions.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to acknowledge
them. We don't have a show like every other show. We could be a clone of every other show that's out there, but we're not.
I think we're a little different. We're a little,
maybe.
It's basically a phone call on TV.
Yeah, basically what it is.
Okay,
right, you want to hear some music?
Before we descend into the nether bowels of political garbage, let's get a little culture. Can you curate some culture for us, please?
Absolutely. This week, this one's a good one today. So if you go over JJ's head, look above JJ's head, you'll see the Discord server right there. You go there, join us and talk to us. I've got it on my phone. It's on the freaking computer. We always talk to each other all day long. Funny memes and news stories that we find. I've got my little conspiracy theories corner up there that if you want to see some deep conspiracy theories. But I've also been a DJ for 30 years, and there's my playlist down here that we add a song to every day. And this week we usually do themes. What was the theme next week? The theme next week was Daddies and Daughters.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Oh, did you end up listening to the Jeremy Renner song?
Yeah, really cool.
Oh, you liked it?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you would consider it. I just didn't know. Okay. So
I like all kinds of music. So this week we are going to Daryl Hall's house. He is Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates, legendary band from the 80s. And he does this show and he puts it on YouTube. It's live from Hall's house where he has all these people come in. Do you remember Lisa Loeb?
Oh, of course I remember Lisa Loeb.
Every man our age remembers Lisa Loeb.
Of course you do.
Biggest crush.
Everybody did.
Dude, she's
not a media darling like Skanky Bimbo. She was adorable.
Little adorable. For people that don't know Lisa Loeb, let me hang on. This is an excuse to look at a picture of Lisa Loeb. All right. She is, and she still looks the same today. She hasn't aged.
Let's be generous, sure.
Has she aged?
Okay. I'm watching your Daryl Hall thing, and
no, look at the picture on the screen.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, like that's a good photo for look. I like Lisa Loeb. Don't make me say anything.
We've all aged.
Don't make me.
Hang on. Lisa Loeb.
Don't make me.
90s. Hang on. Let's look at Lisa Loeb. Here we go.
See, you drug us down into this. I was trying to let it sit on. She's still a beautiful woman.
We all fell in love with right there. That's the little Lisa Loeb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a great song. Great. Oh, I didn't put the song up on the screen. The song is she does stay in her little visit there if you watch the whole thing, but she also does Daryl Hall & Oates' Rich Girl. And she like CeeLo yesterday, it was like, I Can't Go For That was written for CeeLo. It's like Rich Girl was written for her voice. Her voice like is so well with these Hall & Oates songs.
Yeah.
They're so good. This one's a good one. I've watched this one several times. She's a rich girl.
Wow.
It doesn't sound good.
She still has a great voice.
Yeah, she still sounds the same. She's really good. So check it out live from Daryl's house. Check out all of them on YouTube.
To be honest, you got to get like 5 minutes in before you hear music. So there's
there's
a lot of chit chat.
It's like 4:39 or something is when they start doing the music, or they start, but because they do some stuff because it's like a little podcasty show thing, and they go and do some food stuff.
This is it blows my mind that they can just all like, oh, we're just gonna play a song or whatever, and it comes out, it's like, oh my god, you guys are like literally first take. This is some first take, and you guys are making a really good song.
I was told a long time ago when I was first learning to read music, and I've always thought about this. Music is the universal language, and we could get into a deep conspiracy theory about sound making up everything, and music really being the universal language because everything is harmonizing and vibrating on certain waves. But music is the universal language, I was told by my music teacher, because if you had 100 people, 100 musicians sitting in a room, and every single one of them spoke only one language, their native language, and they all spoke different languages. They all speak. You hand them that sheet of music, and they can all read that music. Every one of them. It's all the same.
Well, I mean, if they can read music, there's a lot of people that are, musicians. Yeah,
musicians.
But I mean, I get your point.
Yeah. I could lay down a sheet of music in front of you, and you'd be like if I laid down a sheet of Greek lettering to you. Music,
I remember some of it. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's something. Yeah. Well, they would definitely be able to start playing and all get in sync real fast.
Absolutely,
because there's like fundamental concepts like rhythm and timing measures and repeat and
let's talk about vibrations in the universe. Oh no, we're not.
Let's not do that. let's not do that. You hippie.
We all vibrate, JJ. Every molecule is vibrating. Everything is vibrating.
How in the world am I supposed to get some esoteric hippie vibration to like back to politics? Like, how am I supposed to segue?
Like and subscribe.
That's a good point.
Our Discord server.
All right, good point you make, sir. Yeah. So today's top story. Obviously, Donald Trump won New Hampshire. Yes. But the real interesting thing is that, and we'll look at a little bit over here. The real interesting information that's coming out of this is that at the exit poll, so CNN, is that the most trusted name in news? I don't know. I don't remember who.
Absolutely. I mean, when absolutely.
Impeccable sources.
Yes.
CNN had exit polls. So CNN had guys at that polls. They're like, "Hey, who'd you vote for?" And they got feedback. And then they had follow-up questions like, "And what's your party affiliation? And who are you going to support in the general?" And da-da-da-da.
And CNN live?
Well, no, it was like, they do this collectively at the ballot boxes.
And let me tell you something that you may know, some of our viewers may not know, but I'm an audio engineer, and audio and video engineers are relatively the same. I've edited video many, many times. I just do audio 99% of the time. Okay. And I told you the other day I wasn't going to be working on my book this week because I was working on an audio project that I'd been putting off, and I wanted to take the whole week to work on it. Mm-hmm. I finished it the first day.
Okay. Oh, what? Really?
Yeah, I finished it the first day. It's an hour-long audio documentary of this Rockabilly Hall of Famer that lives in town.
Okay.
So anyway, what I'm getting at is you said that they were interviewing people coming out of the exit poll.
Yeah.
When I record my news every morning and I'm like, blah, 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 I don't like that. I edit my news. When I'm out interviewing, when I edited this interview a minute ago or 2 days ago, it was an hour long. I didn't keep all of it. I edited the crappy parts out, and then I made it sound, and I edited it to where I wanted you to hear what I wanted you to hear. I took out what I did not want you to hear, and then I even would move the end part of the interview, something that we said in the middle. I moved it to the end to make the story flow better. Okay. Remember that when they show you these interviews of these people.
Well, okay, that's true. But when they're doing exit polling, unless they're totally corrupt, what are the odds of that? They have to have a little.
if CNN wanted to push a narrative, and they wanted to interview people coming out of this exit poll to push a particular narrative, and 90% out of 50 people that they interviewed, 3 of them supported their narrative and 47 of them didn't. You're only going to see 3 people on that newscast.
Yeah, if it was like live on news, but this is like the gathering data. They're gathering poll returns, which,
are they? It's CNN.
Yeah, right. So
it's like taking a freaking survey from the pharmaceutical companies.
Let's take it all with a grain of salt. But here's what we're going to say. CNN reports on their website, a news organization. This is their report. Here we go. It has the word news in the name. I'm pretty sure that's what one of the N's stands for.
Dude, I read the news every freaking morning and have for about 30 years. But do I consider myself a newscaster? Yeah. I actually go and get news. I rewrite that news. Am I a newscaster? No.
Are you sure? Because we have been doing this show for like 2 years now. I think, are we a newscast show? We
do that every night.
Okay.
Sitting with my cat that's got a cold that snots on my freaking jeans every night.
Yeah, right.
Cat on my lap.
Okay. All right. CNN exit poll says 70% of Nikki Haley's voters are not registered Republicans. So of those people, and remember, there was a Republican primary election, Nikki Haley and Donald Trump, and there was a Democrat primary election in New Hampshire, and you cannot vote in both. If you vote in one, you can't vote in the other. And Biden's name wasn't even on the Democratic one, so a bunch of Democrats had to go write his name in.
Well, they had been pushing it since last year, July of last year, to write in Joe Biden.
Yeah. So of the Republicans that vote, of the voters that voted in the Republican primary to select the Republican nominee, 70% of those that voted for Nikki Haley were not registered Republicans. Now, they may be independents or they may be Democrats, because what the Democrats are doing is obviously they're trying to stuff the ballot box so that they don't have to go up against Trump, because they value democracy so much that they're afraid of Republicans democratically electing Donald Trump. Democrats are the most afraid of democracy. They are absolutely terrified of it. Nikki Haley relied heavily on support, and I am gonna piss on Republicans too in a little bit too. Don't worry.
It's okay, we piss on them. They're equal. Everybody's equal.
Nikki Haley relied heavily on the support of independents and Democrats in the New Hampshire primary, yet lost by a wide margin. Of the voters in the Granite State, CNN said about 7 in 10 said they were registered as undeclared prior to Tuesday. CNN relied on an exit poll to make a shocking statement. New Hampshire's loose requirements allow voters to cross over, while future Republican caucuses and primaries will consist overwhelmingly of registered Republicans. So in many states, in order to vote in the primary, you must be a registered Republican or a registered Democrat prior to that primary. Trump crushed Haley in New Hampshire primary by double digits. It's like 11% or something like last I checked. Let me check right now. It's 54.6 to 43.3. So he beat her by over 11%. Wow. In Iowa, where Trump won by a historic 30%, it took the Associated Press 31 minutes to call the race. Trump's path to the nomination seems all but inevitable after his crushing victory. Senators John Cornyn and Debbie Fisher endorsed Trump within minutes of his victory. John Cornyn is one of my senators, and he is a piece of shit. Okay, that's a little commentary. Sorry. Last year, John Cornyn supported these gun control measures, including like red flag laws, and basically, which was like, he was like, oh, we should have sensible gun control laws. Well, sensible red. You know what red flag laws? That's where somebody can call in and be like, hey, I heard that Andy's, I heard he's a little crazy, and the government then is like, oh, we got to report that you're crazy. We don't have any way to adjudicate this. There's no ruling on it. There's no law on it. So we're going to take your guns until we figure this out. So like, oh, so you're just going to take gun. That's your whole idea. No, John Cornyn supported that shit. So fuck John Cornyn.
Ruby Ridge, baby, Ruby Ridge. Remember Ruby Ridge.
I'm keeping my guns, asshole. Texas is about to secede. I can't be giving you my guns right now. We're about to have a war or something.
And that's funny because you can poll people at work today, just like the people that not just
everybody at my work is like, let's me our own country.
No, seriously, just poll people. Never mind. You're in Texas. People,
yeah.
I was going to say, because the Ruby Ridge thing is a prime example of what you're talking about, and I was like, and I was thinking, gosh, people probably don't even know what you're talking about when you say Ruby Ridge. Our viewers, because they're the most intelligent viewers.
Smartest, most intelligent, most informed.
Most people don't remember
handsome
Ruby Ridge. And they're like, oh, we only remember what the media told us. But actually look into it and you'll be like, what? All
right. So
we'll probably have to leave a little early today.
So we got to be a little quick. Okay. Yeah. Well, let me stomp through some of these real quick. President Trump was on TV. I don't know, Real America's Voice, or I don't know what channel. I don't know what channels were carrying this. And he said, so what happened was the returns were coming in. Nikki Haley, like while the gap was only 7%, Nikki Haley got up on stage and gave a speech like she had won, but she was losing. So she wasn't claiming victory, but she was giving a speech in the flavor of like you would if you're like, oh, we're doing really good. And then the gap got wider and wider and wider. And Donald Trump got up on camera in a little while and called her out. He says, let me, it's not that long. I'm going to play the clip. Here we go. Where's the button? Here and here.
We'll head out to South Carolina, where I think we're going to win easily. I think we're 50 points up, 5-0. 5-0, 50 points up on a person that was governor. That tells you something. But I felt I should do this because I find in life you can't let people get away with bullshit, okay? You can't. You just can't do that. And when I watched her in the fancy dress, it probably wasn't so fancy.
Maybe not so fancy.
Come up, I said, what's she doing? We won. And she did the same thing last week, but he was much more angry about it than I was. I said, get up there and you let him know. We are going to win this. We have no choice. If we don't win.
Okay. So he basically called her out. Yeah, I do too. He just called her on his bullshit. She was like, she got up there like she won. She's losing. She's losing. She's terrible. You can't let people get away with bullshit. And he said that on TV.
His cockiness, that comes out.
Yeah.
That New Yorker.
Oh my God.
Attitude.
He's so funny.
I, as a Southern person, love that New York attitude sometimes. I think it's needed. I've got a friend, his name is Domenico, and he is from New York. Yeah. His family is from New York. You can probably guess what his last name, where his last name comes from, with his first name being Domenico.
Probably Cuban.
He's from Italy. And he's very New York, but he's got that attitude. And when I first met him, I was just like, I don't know if I like this guy. And I mean, actually talking about it, the longer I was around him, the more I was like, I like him. I think the reason I did not like him initially is because he was a damn Yankee.
Yeah. It's not racism exactly, but it definitely is prejudice.
Yes, it is. It is. It really is. It exists. To say that it doesn't exist is stupid because the Yankees do the same thing to Southern people, and the Southern people do the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They think everybody in the South is retarded because they talk a little slower than them.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what the difference between a Yankee and a damn Yankee is?
No.
A Yankee comes to the South and goes back home. A damn Yankee comes to the South and stays.
Oh.
I told him that joke and he laughed.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I love Donald Trump. That was good.
So, yeah, he's pretty great. Okay, so allow me to just kind of recap a little bit the last, I don't know, what is it, 4 months or whatever, however long the primary season's been going on. We launched the primary season. We had, I don't know, 7 or 8 candidates. You had Asa Hutchins, and you had Vivek Ramaswamy. You had Chris Christie. You remember? Big old round fat face Chris Christie. And you had a bunch of candidates running for the RNC, doing the RNC debates for the GOP ticket. And Donald Trump was like, nah, I'm not really going to do that. The GOP, the RNC, headed by Ronna McDaniel, wasted so much time running all these debates for all of these losers, and none of them are in the final. I mean, Nikki Haley's still in there because she hadn't quit yet. It's pointless. Well, now Ronna McDaniel, the chair of the RNC, has this to say about the results of the New Hampshire primary.
Looking at the math and the path going forward, and I don't see it for Nikki Haley. I think she's run a great campaign, but I do think there is a message that's coming out from the voters, which is very clear. We need to unite around our eventual nominee, which is going to be Donald Trump, and we need to make sure we beat Joe Biden. It is 10 months away till the November election, and we can't wait any longer to put our foot on the gas, to beat the worst president, to beat a president that's kept our borders open, allowed fentanyl to pour through.
No kidding.
She's like,
sister?
Yeah, except her whole thing here is like, yeah, we've got to get on a team here. She's been leading the anybody but Trump team.
Oh.
Yeah. So even is like
prime example of what I've been trying to tell you.
Yeah.
They've got
worthless. She's terrible. Yeah.
I got to try to mesmerize the people. Some of these Trump voters, we got to try to mesmerize.
All right. Do you want to talk about that Carrie Lake thing?
Yeah, this was interesting because I was sitting on the couch last night, and we had some time, and the kids were off, and I was playing some Red Dead Redemption 2, and Ashley sits on the couch and peruses Twitter and stuff like that. She's actually working a lot of the time. She's a real estate agent, so she's constantly doing something and taking phone calls, and she was doing that last night. But at one point, she was listening to something, and I'm playing the game, and I said, "What are you listening to?" And she said, "You've got to hear this." And she rewound and played it. It was this Carrie Lake thing that, that JJ tagged me on this morning. JJ was like,
I was like, bro, listen to this. Now, here's the thing. This is on the Daily Mail. So we do have to swim through swim through all of these ads here to get to this thing.
Stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that. Is that running sound?
Yeah.
Listen. Oh yeah.
Is that a
great
real game?
Sorry about
Those people that play those games are the worst.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Oh my God. Get out of
So
here.
what's going on? What is? I'm assuming this is our friend.
It's biginated.
This is back
Yeah.
east. There are very powerful people who want to keep you out. Of the
No,
census,
they do.
but they're willing to put their money where their mouth is in a big way. So this conversation never happened.
This
is
conversation
crazy.
never happened.
They should want me. I'm a great candidate. People love me. These people are corrupt.
Well, maybe you're right.
Maybe you're right.
They are right. They are corrupt.
Maybe. This never happened. Don't go. If you ever go, I'll get myself in trouble.
Don't go. I'm gonna get in trouble here.
If you say no,
He's getting
just
close.
don't tell people.
They're gonna try to have me murdered.
A little bit. Maybe a little bit.
If that stuff that came out last week is right about the cartel stuff, man.
Yeah.
Hey, they say the cartel's operating in 50 states right now, like all 50. You know? So
So what's going on? Who is it? What?
What do you want?
forget the who. Let me just
tell you what.
Let's just say there are people calling around saying, "Gosh, no, they can't repeat this. Never repeat this. If you say no, don't. Because say I got offered to buy out. Don't use it. Because then we lose our ability to get things done in the future.
Here's my problem. Rather than just say, let's work with her, she's a great candidate, because they don't own me.
Oh no, another ad. Like an ad. Oh my God. What is this?
So while you're doing this here real quick, let me point out something as an audio engineer. Where was this microphone hidden?
Daily
It was
Mail,
on
you're-
her. It was
Yeah,
on her.
it's so close to her.
Yeah, it's somewhere on her arm.
It's probably
or
in her.
somewhere.
She probably
Yeah.
turned on her recorder on her phone, dropped it in her purse, and she's probably carrying.
No.
It
This
sounded
is
like she was eating something.
no. Yeah, this is a better microphone. This is a very good microphone. The quality
Yeah.
is very,
You
very
know,
good.
she was a journalist for decades. I'm sure she
Yes,
has a digital recorder.
And you
that's
can
great.
hear she shifts. He moves towards her and she shifts a little bit there, and she's
Mhm.
rubbing the microphone with that's a fabric rub on a microphone. is
Oh,
what that
okay.
is. And then at the beginning, she's sitting there casual because she's eating, and he's
Yeah.
away from her, and then he moves closer to her. That's
Yeah. You can, I mean, a little bit you have to do an imagination because you can't see anything, but like
I've edited
that's what
audio
that's
for
what
30 years.
that's what people do when they're like conspiring and they're like, hey, listen, I got a little thing I need to tell you about. It's a little. Don't tell anybody about this or anything, but.
Look,
They want you
My
to
manager's
stick out
not
for a couple
supposed to
years.
tell you. My manager's not. If my manager finds out I gave you this discount on this car, I'm going to be fired. All right, so don't. I told my ex-wife that one time before we were married. She was going to buy a new car, and I told her, I said, I'm just going to sit in the back, and I want you to do it. I'm not going to say a word. I want the salesperson to talk to her, because this was in the early 2000s and whatnot, and back when the sales guy would talk to the guy all the time. That's just
Yeah.
So I didn't say a word, but I told her, I said, let's count how many salespeople say, now don't tell my manager, or if my manager found out I gave you this discount, I'm going to be in trouble. Like 3 out of the 5 freaking guys ended up saying that exact same line.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell that guy's a slime ball for sure. And it represents a corrupt people. He said this is from back east. There's a part in there. She was like, they're going to have me murdered. They're going to have me murdered if I don't go along with this. And anyway. Yeah, John McAfee sending adverts back. Yeah, thanks, Daily Mail. It's ridiculous. There was something else I wanted to say about this. Oh, dude, are you froze? Oh,
No.
you're just being still.
Oh, I was just reading.
I'm thinking Carrie Lake is my number one pick for VP in the race. I don't know if she'd be the best VP, but she's my number one pick right now.
Who?
Carrie Lake. That's Carrie Lake that we were listening to.
She's your number one pick for VP?
I think so. And I was just thinking about this, and I just decided why. I mean,
Where's
obviously
all this
she's
sound coming from.
I don't know what sound you're hearing. Nope, not me.
Oh,
It's a train. It's choo-choo train, bro. So Carrie Lake, obviously great TV presence. She was a journalist on TV for years and years and years. She's got a lot of people behind her. She's definitely on the MAGA, America First, pro-Trump agenda. I think she's running for Senate, maybe. But if she runs as the co-run for Donald Trump, she, as a female, can attack any candidate the Democrats put up in place of Kamala Harris. Because, Biden is going to try to keep running, but Kamala Harris is terrible. So he's probably going to replace her. There's rumors circulating that Michelle Obama is going to get in the race or something like that. Having a Carrie Lake, a female, available to attack the female Democratic candidates, it's a lot stronger than just having Donald Trump stomp all over them. Because not every female is Hillary Clinton, for which the American public would be like, that's okay, Don, just trash her. We hate her. And a lot of other women, they wouldn't want to see Donald Trump just bash on her. So a Carrie Lake, a female VP, strong female VP, makes a lot of sense. Not hitting Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley's terrible.
Anyway. If I have to pick a female, I want Candace Owen.
Candace too smart. She is too smart for that. She's not going to get involved in it.
I know. That's what I always said about Ben Shapiro. I was like, man, I wish Ben Shapiro would be a great president.
I don't know. Ben Shapiro would be getting us the United States versus Hamas. He'd be putting the entire military into Gaza right now.
Yeah.
All right. That's the Arizona news. So not only are the Democrats broadly corrupt, trying to stuff ballot boxes into, they don't actually want, I thought of this last night. They don't actually believe in democracy. They believe in sabotageocracy, because they are trying to sabotage the Republican primary. So not only are Democrats broadly corrupt, but the leaders of their GOP and RNC or whatever back east, they're also corrupt and terrible. All right. That's my whole point there. Okay, Deke, what do you got?
Are we going to talk about the story that scares me the most out of the past 10 years?
The border?
Yeah. I'm not even making a joke about that. We were talking about it with the kids last night with my oldest, who's fixing to be 19.
You know what? I forgot I had these in here. I got a couple clips from Twitter. Let's definitely talk about this. Yeah. So as we mentioned yesterday, the Supreme Court said, absolutely, we rule in favor of the federal government. The federal government is allowed to take down the border that Texas is putting up. Texas is not allowed to do that. Supreme Court totally allowed to do that. To which possibly, I'm not going to say one of the best press secretaries of all time, but definitely one of the press secretaries of all time had this to say about the SCOTUS ruling.
I caught that. That was really good.
I don't have the specifics on what the border security is going to do and how they're going to do it. Look, we are certainly glad that the Supreme Court made the decision to vacate the injunction that prevented border security to actually do their jobs, to do humanitarian work, to actually enforce laws.
She actually says
and
this.
It got in the way. And what was put forward, that what Texas was doing, the governor was doing, was actually ineffective. And that's something that we have to remember. It was ineffective.
It was ineffective in what? Keeping terrorists out of our country?
This dumb bimbo. She's so stupid. She had to look down. She's like, there's a word I'm supposed to be promulgating. There's a word I'm supposed to be associating with this razor wire fence. It's it was ineffective.
Could not remember it. Did you see her eyes? She was trying to remember. I do the same. That is people that when you're talking live, when I'm talking live and my brain is going and trying to figure out what I'm saying next. I talk live every day on the show.
Yeah.
You see me talking live. And sometimes my brain can't remember the word that I have come up with. And yes, you all have this little and she doesn't do the ums.
No, she has something else. She has these other little phrases that she like sticks in there, but you can tell she doesn't know what she's talking about. So
those are called in the business, those are called crutches. And she has a lot of crutches. Crutches are words and phrases that we rely on, that we can say without thinking, and it's segues that we can lean on.
And it's just creating time. It's just like, honestly, it's exactly like if you were in some situation where you were being interrogated by the police, or you did something wrong and somebody's asking you directly, did you do this? And your stupid brain, your stupid monkey brain goes, I'm sorry, what was the question? You're just trying to create 5 more seconds so that you can come up with some bullshit lie that sounds kind of convincing.
You know what my crutch is? I have, and I tell certain people this, my audio crutch, I've been doing mornings for like 25 years. My crutch is currently 8:40 and about 54 degrees.
Check the time and temperature.
Time and temperature. That's my crutch. I do it without thinking, without saying, and it allows me to segue into whatever else I was going to say.
It's also useful.
It's very useful, but I know it's my crutch. I say it all the time.
So I'm sure I have some. It probably make me feel bad if you tell me what they are. I bet you know exactly what they are.
Hey, like and subscribe.
It's right down there.
Right down there.
So Governor Greg Abbott had a response to the SCOTUS ruling as well. Not only KJP, but
closer. Something happened.
Oh, is it okay? I don't know.
Oh, it's restreams acting crazy.
Yeah, but it is. Governor Greg Abbott had this to say: the Texas National Guard continues to hold the line at Eagle Pass. Texas will not back down from our efforts to secure the border. Look at this incredibly ineffective looking razor wire. I mean, you could probably just walk right through that. It doesn't seem effective at all. Look at this. Come on. That's not stopping anybody. Ineffective razor wire. If you were like, hey, Deke, I dropped my soda right over there. Can you just go get that for me? You'd be like, nope. Fuck you. I'm not going through that. That shit is sharp, dude.
And that's yes, that's sharp. We talked about razor wire yesterday. If you've never been around that stuff, let's go up there and touch it with your finger.
Good way to F up your pants.
You sure have a band.
Oh yeah, I had one. Here's one more I had. I forgot about this one. I had a couple
of fun stories.
What do you think about? So here's this is leftism for you on Twitter, and for you, by the way, was calling out Dom Luker. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to look closer at Dom. I don't know if I can.
Dom has don't listen to that. Dom has been attacked here recently, really hard by the left, and they have been citing everything that he posts. They cite, they send a little report that on a community notes, and he had so many that he got demonetized.
Oh, really?
Pause that. That's loud. That scared the hell out of me. And so they got to, of course, the internet got pissed off. His fans got pissed off, and they got to looking, and some of the people that do community notes got to looking, and it's like 3 fucking people, 2 people.
Oh, is it?
People with multiple accounts that's been doing this to him. And because of the algorithms and stuff like that, like Elon Musk even commented on one of his posts and stuff. And he's in a conversation with Dom. Dom was just some regular guy like Cat Turd that started voicing his opinion, and he was right and started getting people to like what he said. And now he gets death threats. I listened to an interview. Tucker Carlson interviews Cat Turd, and great freaking interview. We listened to that yesterday, and that was another one that Ashley's over there listening to, and I just kind of muted the game because it was so good. It was so good.
So there's some Texas National Guard soldiers putting razor wire on a fencing before they erect some fencing. So ineffective for sure. KJP, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I noticed the beef between like leftism for you and Dom, and obviously Dom's got some people that are detracting him right now. I don't know if he's making too many waves. He's up in New York investigating those tunnels under 770. We never even talked about that because, like, I don't know anything about like a synagogue, school, whatever that is. I don't know. Apparently a bunch of guys were digging tunnels underneath New York City. Anyway, Dom's up there investigating it, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
No, I've been following all of this stuff. All right,
but I'm watching it distantly. Yeah, that's all. Like, and then there's an Airbender trailer, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, we're not watching that. I've got to watch that with my son Alex.
Watch it with your son. Maybe we'll watch it tomorrow because Netflix likes that.
Yeah,
copyright
I
strike
watch that with Alex for the first time. But I got to.
Yeah, we're not going to do that here. Okay, what else do you have? You got anything?
All right, so I got some cool bug stories for you today. I don't know how many times we have bug stories on the show, but I got some cool ones.
World's rarest insect makes stunning comeback after near extinction. Oh,
yeah,
good.
look at this thing.
Ew! No, kill it.
Don't kill it. This is a Lord House Island stick insect. It's called a Drydoblogophthalmos. And they're tree lobsters. Yeah, that's
lobster.
That's the correct pronunciation.
Oh.
There's only 20 to 30 tree lobsters in the wild. Because they live on this near vertical volcanic outcrop called Ball's Pyramid, and they feed on these little shrubs. The problem is, other than living in one of the most inhospitable places on the planet, these shrubs the only thing that they eat, these shrubs that they feed on, are being strangled by this invasive vine, which can't be entirely removed as they're holding soil onto the cliffs with their roots. So because of the shrubs terrible. Are barely hanging on, the insects are like, let's only eat this thing that's barely hanging on. And there's like 30 of them in the whole world. But they've got some and they're breeding them, and it's pretty cool that we've tried to save one of the world's rarest insects.
That's cool. Leave a comment below, guys, if you think that thing is horrible and disgusting.
No, it's cool.
It's man. Gross looking.
You got to appreciate all life. And let me bring up another story. I don't have to bring it up. I know it off the top of my head. So, do you guys have cicadas in Texas?
Yeah. But we don't have the 17-year ones. We have like that. They're like 1 or 2 years. That's a different variety. But like every year or two.
Some people get confused. Yes, cicadas. They go into the ground. The grubs bury into the ground when they're hatched. They stay in the ground for years and years. They feed off of roots and the moisture from roots and stuff like that is what they eat. And then every so often, so many years, they come up out of the ground. They're big. They molt. They get rid of their hard shell. You may see the little hard shells. And then they proceed to fly up into the trees and scream their fucking heads off to mate. That's the only thing they're doing. And they're the loudest things in the freaking world. If you walk up on a cicada, they're like this freaking big. And you walk up on one and it screeches out. Dude, I've saw so many videos. The funniest one is this big old freaking 6'5" black guy at the gas pump. And it was a surveillance video. And he was at the gas pump. And the damn cicada started screaming, and he jumped up like a little girl, screaming, man. And it scares you. So the cicadas come out every year. We have them here at the radio station every year. I see a half a dozen. I see 6 to 12 every year. Not very many. Well, like you said, there's certain broods that come out. There's brood 19. And your brood is called brood 19. And then there's another one called brood 13. And brood 19 comes out every about 17 to 19 years. Brood 13 about every 11 to 13 years. Okay. The last time both of these broods came out together was 1805.
Okay? Oh, wow.
Thomas Jefferson had the Louisiana Purchase. We were still 1805. Okay.
Texas was owned by Mexico.
Yeah. Was the last time both of these broods. The next time they come out together will be 2245. 2245 will be the next time that they hatch together if the world is still around. They will be out in April of this year. This year is a super rare occurrence. It's super rare. Once in generations. It's been since your great grandfathers. and it'll be your great grandchildren.
Right.
You know, so this is a very interesting. It's like Halley's Comet. We were alive for Halley's Comet. We won't be alive for Halley's
It's
Comet.
like Halley's Comet, but way less spectacular.
yeah, and a lot more annoying. They say trillions. Some places will see trillions of these. They cross over in like Illinois, Kentucky, Indiana. So we will have them. I told Ashley, I said, they're going to be everywhere. They're going to be everywhere. I remember as a kid, we had them hatch one time where they were everywhere. And me and my buddy Scott were filling up 2-liter bottles. We'd catch them and put them in 2-liter bottles. And we had 2 cane poles, and we went out and we fished with them with cane poles. We just take a bottle and dump one out and put it on the hook and throw it out in the water with the cane pole.
The dude was like, "Oh, I've been asleep for like 19 years. I need a woman." Oh my God. What just happened?
What happened to me? I let him go. I didn't put him on the hook. I let him go. He goes back to his
change his story now. Change his story now.
Cicada buddies, and he's like, "Hey man, I just got abducted by this crazy being," and they're like, "You're crazy."
All right. Well, I think that's all we got, and you got to go cut it out a little early, right?
Yeah.
So as we are obligated to do every single day. I mean, you can't put the name Your Two Dads in the show without having dad jokes. We end the show every single day on a dad joke right after you hit like and subscribe. And today's joke, I got you, Deke. What do you get when you cross a cow with an earthquake?
A milkshake.
Yes.
Dude, I am 3 for 3 this week. I'm 3 for 3 this week.
I know that was the harder one. The easier one was why'd a man throw his clock out his window?
I wanted to see time fly.
Yeah, see, I skipped to that one. I skipped to that one.
What do you call 66% of poop?
No.
What do you call 66% of poop?
I don't know.
2 turds.
Yes, that's good. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Hey, especially thanks for leaving a comment on the video. I appreciate it. It gives me like self-esteem, and nice. I like you, internet friends. All right, bye. White guy, awkward dancing. Obey. Yeah. The show is over. Thank you for watching. As always, please subscribe. We will be back tomorrow.